but that is okay. We're excited. It is Thursday. This is our Thursday morning mastermind call because this is a call where we get together and we share and we ask questions and we talk about all the good things and the different things that are happening in our surge business and in our personal life. Because really, in order for you to go to the next level, you have to change yourself to meet that level. It would be great if we could just close our eyes, blink 3 times, spin around 3 times, whatever the case may be, and voila, we're where we want to be. But it takes a little bit of work. And that work usually is up to the individual. How much work you want to put in to change yourself, your thinking, your routine, and you will then begin to move towards your goals. But if you stay stagnant where you are, that's where you're going to always be. So if you want to do things in your life and you want to achieve goals and do different things, then you have to be willing to change also. A lot of times when you look in the past, you can see why you are where you are in the future. Well, in the present. So what you're doing in the present will then determine how you're going to be in the future. So if you did things in the past that has caused you to be where you are now and you don't like it, well, then you have to change the things that you're doing now so your future will be different. And that is with everyone. It's not a secret. The thing is, people just don't want to do it. People get relaxed. They get complacent. They are comfortable. They do not want to change. They like their routine. And because they're not willing to change their routine, then they won't see a different future. So think about that. When you're doing what you're doing today, whatever the result will be, that's what you'll be in the future. So let's just take, for example, a chocolate cake. We're going to talk about food. A chocolate cake. You keep eating chocolate cake, you have an idea of what your blood pressure is going to be like, if you're going to have diabetes, if you're going to be overweight because you're eating bad. If you turn into a salad lover, have a little protein here and there, what you're putting in your body will show you how your future is going to be, how your health is going to be. And the thing about it is, we know the difference. We know what to do. But what do we choose to do? We choose to do what's comfortable. We will grab something quick to eat because we feel we don't have time to prepare a nice healthy meal and just have one slice of dessert, whatever that is you want, or have berries, fruits, whatever that is. We know how to eat healthy. There's so many different things that show us what to do and how to do it. But do we do it? That's the question. So when you make up your mind how you want your future to be, where do you see yourself in the future? How do you want to look, to feel, where you want to be at in your business? Then that's all up to you. And by doing that, you then control what you're doing in the present. So if you can look back in the past and you see what your present is and you don't like it, well, now you know what you have to do to change so your future can be different. And that comes with the mindset, the way you think, the way you feel, what you want to do, how you do things. All of that plays out. So we talked about, a while ago, James Clear, his book, Habits. He really breaks it down. In order for you to change a bad habit, you have to overlay it with a good habit. So if you're doing something that you know is not right, then you have to start doing something that you know is right and slowly start changing it. I gave the example, if you wanted to lose weight, then you're going to go out and buy all these workout clothes, all these gym equipment, all these sneakers, and the first thing you get up in the morning, you don't have time to spend an hour or 2 hours in the gym. especially when you weren't even spending 15 minutes because you were doing other things. So start slow. Maybe just grab the sneakers that's in your closet. Get up in the morning and try to walk in place for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and continue to do that. And then you'll find yourself knocking out that hour. But everything takes time, and you have to see yourself slowly doing what you know to do to meet the change so your future will be different than how your present is. So, and you look at different people, how they're doing this and doing that. You know how much time they put in order to achieve their goal? They were not overnight success. The majority of the people, if you talk to them, they have put their time in with another business, and now they have created a following, and that following follows them to every business they go to. But they put their time in either way. And once you realize that you too put your time in, you'll start seeing the results. Every motivational speaker that we listen to, that we follow, they'll all tell you the same thing. They put their time in. They learned what they needed to do. They did not give up. When they failed, they came back. They looked at failure as a learning curve, not as a quitting curve. So it's all on how you look at things to where you do not give up. And when you continue to do the things you're doing, if you don't like it, you're going to get the same results. So start thinking about how you're going to change, what you're going to do different, so you can see different results. And so that's what I wanted to pretty much share today, because we have a lot of people on our call, and really everybody on the call, they know what to do and how to do it. You just have to ask yourself, this got in my way, why? This happened, why? And I have to do this, so I can't do that now, why? So just start peeling out a few minutes a day, either in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, when you're winding down. Find out the time that works best for you. And when you get that time, do what you know to do. Even if you're at work and you're working a 9 to 5, you're going to get a lunch break. You know, you should get a lunch break. If you're not getting a lunch break, then you need to find out why. But when you get the lunch break, instead of doing the same things that you've always done, do something different. Instead of sitting in the cafeteria or wherever you sit for lunch and listen to people talk about other people, go out to your car. Go out to a bench. Go sit someplace quietly and pull a book out and read something. Learn something. And then you'll find yourself, the more you do that, then the coworkers will get used to it, because at first they're going to be like, why are you over there? Come on over here. No. Say, no, I'm getting ready to try something different right now, and do just that. I'm taking this class, so I need to get some studying in. Oh, what class are you taking? Oh, it's just something that I need to learn for whatever. And really, you don't have to give people a reason. You don't have to be excusing yourself from different things. We tend to feel that we have to explain everything we do to people. No. You say to them, I'm getting ready to go read this book. You reading a book? Yeah, that's it. And you go do something to change how you are, because that same routine is not changing you. So you'll find times that you can do what you need to do in order to change the way you are. And just start off slow. You don't have to start off with 3-4 hours, because really you don't have that time just yet in your day. What'll happen is, as time goes on, you'll realize that, oh, I don't have to watch that program. I'll treat myself on the weekend and binge watch while I'm doing laundry or something like that. So in the evening, I don't have to watch it. I could wait till the weekend. And so now you found yourself with a whole extra hour in the evening. Or you'll say, oh, I don't have to do that tonight. I'll do that on the weekend. And then that way I could have more time to read and relax. But see, it's a slow process. And you'll find yourself finding so much more time in the evening because now you're changing your routine. So when you start slowly changing your routine to where you're learning, you're doing your affirmation, you're listening to more positive speakers, you'll find that when you're listening to positive motivational speakers, half the time you don't have to sit right in the TV and stare at it or, whatever. You could be doing so many other things while you're listening. And when you start doing little routines like that, you'll find, oh, well, you know what? I can do this, listen to this speaker for an hour. I've gotten all these things done, and I've listened to some positive thoughts, positive words for a good hour in the evening. So you can change around what you're doing to make it be that you're working, that you're changing your mindset, that you're listening to motivational speakers, that you're learning something new. Even on Tuesday nights now, we have these different trainings with Manatee. So what are you doing on Tuesday night that you can't set your phone, because everybody's phone these days has a timer and a notification to let you know what time it is and something's getting ready to start, and listen to that training. I have so many trainings coming in now on my email, and different people from the different trainings that we've gone to reminding me this is coming up, reminding me this is coming up. We even signed up for Joe Dispenza, and he's doing something. I don't remember the day. It's either the 15th or the 5th of September. I have so many things that I'm going to be doing and listening to, and I get reminders. I put it in my calendar when this is going to start, what time this is, and especially with the power of social media and the power of Zoom and Skype and all these different trainings that you can do right there in the privacy of your home and learn. Expert Rating has all these classes. We have several folks who are now taking the trainings that the company puts out to learn more about this state or this country. So it's all there. There's so many things that you can do to show you and learn how to change yourself and how to make yourself a better person. Because once you become the person that you want to be, those are the people that you will now start attracting to your search business. So you design how you want to be, how you want to see yourself in the future. And when you start saying that and feeling that and believing that, it's going to all come together. It's going to all work together for your good. But it all starts with you. So you can't sit back and complain about what you don't have, your business is not growing, this and that and this and that. Well, find out. There's so many ways that you can learn how to recruit, how to meet people. This class, there's so, and that's another thing too. You don't have to pay for these programs. There are so many programs out there that you can learn. And once you start learning and you start then say, okay, that's pretty deep. I think I want to do this. I want to do that. So it's really up to you on determining what you want to do, how you want to do it, and how you want to change your Surge 365 business for the better. And when you see people getting awards, when they had the presentation down in Houston and so many people became director, you want to do that, then learn how to do that. So it's all up to you. You want to get a comma check with Manatee, well then get a comma check with Manatee. Put together enough group trips or even put your business website out there that more people are booking on your website. And so the more you do and the more you get comfortable at what you're doing, the more people you're going to attract to your business. And they'll be more like you. And also, when you're going through these things, remember to enjoy the journey. We get so hung up and spend so much time not enjoying where we are now because we're not where we feel we want to be. You're missing, you're missing so much by not enjoying the day. Enjoy the process. When you're learning something new, enjoy it. So you have to find something that you love, that you really like doing. And once you find that, you'll get excited about learning it. You'll get excited about spending time doing it. You'll find a class that you like. You'll find different things that you want to do. And when you enjoy doing it, wow, that's a whole different story. Because now it's not going to take anything for you to do it. So if you're still working a 9 to 5, and I understand a lot of people still have until the business takes over to where, it's doubled your salary, tripled your salary, whatever your goal is, you still do the 9 to 5. I understand that. But once it starts happening, then you can see, oh, wow, this is coming in like this. I'm investing like that. I think I can leave my job. But make sure you're there mentally, physically, financially. Make sure it's something that you can do, because a lot of times if you start changing what you do at work, what you spend time doing with other people at work, finding time to be quiet, and now you have that whole hour where you're working your surge business. Now, don't work your surge business on the 9 to 5 time that somebody else is paying you. That's not right. If somebody else is paying you to do this and do that, do it. Only work your business at your lunchtime or your break. You might send out some texts, remind people of a meeting, and you can continue to still work your business that way. You can get on a Zoom in the evening, invite people to join, and show people what you're doing and how it's working for you. And in the meantime, you still have that 9 to 5. And then that will become savings. After a while, that will become what they would call chump change, to where you're just setting it aside. And your business is taking care of your whole household. It's taking care of all your travel, and it's taking care of a lot of things that you want to do. We knew this one lady who was doing really well in the business, and we didn't understand why she held on to her 9 to 5. Well, she was only a year out from retiring. So she said, why should I leave that money on the table? I just have a year out. I'll retire from this position. I'll have that additional income coming in along with my business. So plan it out how it's going to work for you. And when you plan it out and then you start speaking it and you start saying it, it's going to start coming. It's going to start coming together. It's going to start unfolding. The law of attraction is real, and affirmations are real. I was listening to this one person who was saying how they don't even have a vision board anymore because they've gotten so good at sitting down and meditating and visualizing what they want. So they don't have to look at a vision board. You know how we have vision boards all over. We have these things here, these things there. And they look at that, and that's supposed to get you thinking about, oh, how is it going to be to feel that, to drive that car? How is it going to feel to live in that home? So you have the vision board to prompt the feeling or prompt you thinking about it every time you pass the vision board. I know some people even put it on their phone. They take a picture of it. It's on their phone. It's their screensaver. So every time they open their phone, they see the same picture. And she was going on to say how she's gotten it down to a science, and seeing it, visualizing how it's going to feel, that she doesn't need any type of picture to prompt that for her. She can go right there. And I thought, oh, wow, that sounds nice. I would love to do that. So I started doing that. I started sitting down and thinking and feeling what I want and I want, how it's going to be, how it's going to feel, and not really needing any type of visual stimulation to get me to start thinking.
Brenda, no. You need a vision board. You need it written down. Only a
I,
one percenters can do that. If
well, and this person probably is a one
but
percenter.
I'm just
I'm
saying
not
though,
saying everybody should do it.
as a teaching, Oprah says a vision board. Every successful person says a vision board. It has to be written. Write the vision, make it plain. And that's the word. But anyhow, I love what everything you're saying, but I will not
but that,
buy into
but no,
that.
no, I'm not saying not to do it.
I'm just
I'm
saying
just
though, but if
giving
you're
that
telling
person
people,
kudos.
they want to know. I mean, it's kudos to her, but that's a point percentage. No, write the vision, make it plain. But anyhow, back to you.
Well, I understand that, but I thought that was interesting to be able to get to that point. And I know, yes, everybody should do what works for them. I'm just saying that is what works for her. And I thought that was pretty interesting for someone to just go there in their mind. And it's like anything, you have to train yourself. Everybody is not the one percenter who can actually do that. But me, I was impressed when I was hearing that. I was impressed that that can be done. But no, yes, you're right. Do write it down. Do have your vision board because that's where affirmation comes in when you write it down. But I was just saying that because I thought that I was impressed by that because it's not that easy to do. So sorry if I put it out there like that's how you have to do it. But
Yeah, thank you.
I just thought that
No, there's
I
no
thought
getting
that was
around
pretty
writing the
awesome.
vision and making it plain. But that's good though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty awesome. And I was saying all that to say how strong our will is when we set our mind to do something. But people have to find out what works for them, of course. And the thing about it is stick with it because we'll start something and then we don't finish it. So we have to stick with it. So Rick, you want to go ahead and take it away? I got to answer this.
Sure. I didn't mean to cut in, but I was like, oh, no, 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 no. You got to write it down. But anyhow, man, I'm loving what you're saying. I've been taking notes of everything that you're saying. But first, does anybody else have anything they want to say? So as you was talking, the things that really, really, really stood out, you said failure is a learning curve, not a quitting curve. And I was like, man, that's so good. You said try new approaches. And one of the things that was just running through my mind as you was talking is we've been doing this now before 2004 because we've always been doing something, but 2004 in the travel business, and people see us in the business. And one of the things that is the key to our success is our consistency. We are like, you got the hare and you got the tortoise. We've been both, but we've been consistent in running through the process. We've been consistent in trying new things. We've been consistent keeping the vision before us. We've been consistent of looking at the priorities of the vision and working toward the vision every day. You'll see people that will run like a hare, like a rabbit, and they'll hit a goal, and they're out of energy because they don't have the foundation. And I really believe that is a spiritual foundation. I believe, Brenda, we've been consistent because we have that spiritual foundation that's leading us, that's guiding us, that's giving us a pace. Like everybody on this call has a pace. You have to look at that pace and say, what is the strength to that pace? Why am I still doing what I'm doing? What kind of progress am I making with this pace? Because every day, and you were saying this, Brenda, every day you're making progress towards something. What is that something that you're making progress toward? So as you was talking, Brenda, I was hearing, your winning mindset, how we win. You was really just giving the information, which was so powerful, on how and why we win all the time. And that is a mindset. As you was talking about learning. And what came to me was learning is a priority because learning causes movement. And I love how you say always learn something new because it causes movement. And the things that you practice, and you was talking about this, what you were saying is so powerful. The things you practice on a daily basis is the progress you're making, whether it's positive or negative. And the other thing that you said that was powerful is enjoy where you are now on the journey to your destination. And that is so true. Father, help us because tomorrow is not promised. And so make an enjoyment of what you're doing, an enjoyment of the friends you have around you, an enjoyment of your church and your family. Roll that in, not to the exclusion of people that are important around you, situations that are important around you, even your job. It's a blessing to even have a job, but roll that in as a priority while at the same time you're marching towards your dream. And live in the moment is what I was hearing, Brenda, when you was talking. And one of the things that is so beautiful, we travel. You and I, we travel all the time. We're always doing something, right? And that's because we're enjoying the moments. And Country Boy was talking about this. Life is about creating moments. Loving in the moment, enjoying the moment, savoring the moments, enjoying cuisine, good foods, and enjoying being able to breathe and to be able to get out of bed. Enjoying being able to get into bed. But those are the moments of life, that we savor. And it's so important because, man, we see it all the time. People, life is not promised. Things are not promised. Our mobility is not promised. Everything, not that you live there, but you realize that I'm in this moment now. Back to you, Brenda. Or anybody. I can say one more thing if nobody asks me. Patience. Leadership is about patience. And can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, thanks. And leadership, thank you. Leadership is patience. And it sometimes is so hard, and that may be a mindset, to have the patience to be successful. And a lot of times the patience to be successful are the impatiency. If you're impatient about to be towards success, is because you really don't see what success is all about. Success is those little things, right? Those little teeny things even. And being able to do those little teeny things and accomplish those what people would consider even sometimes insignificant things as your path to success. Well, I did this. I tied my shoe. Even setting like a small goal. I was listening to something one time. It was just saying you could set a small goal And when you accomplish it, you feel that feeling, and a person can actually inch their way to that feeling and be successful in the thing that they're looking, whatever they set. A person can actually do that. Hey, Brenda, back to you. Are you on mute? Brenda, we can't hear you.
I think she said she was going to do something.
Oh, well, somebody speak.
I'm listening, Rick. And back to what Brenda was saying about setting your mind to moving forward. I wanted to say about I have a granddaughter that, her life was just really out of control. And just one day she decided that she was going to um do better. And today, she always puts a little encouragement on Facebook every morning. She's doing very well, and she's gained a lot of weight, so she's doing better. And she's very positive now in her life, and she just keeps going, and we just keep giving her encouragement that she can do it. Just keep your mind set, stay on track, be focused, and what she's looking for she can get. So there is a way that you can go one way and turn around and go another way, and you can be very successful. So those were encouraging words from Brenda that I was listening to this morning, and it can be done. You just have to stay focused and determined that you're going to do it. And that's what I tell my granddaughter every morning. You can do it. You can do it. So
That's beautiful.
yes.
Anybody else?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is to stay focused through all the multitude of distractions.
Multitude, you're right.
And especially now with so much going on. And now, on top of everything else, here we go into another election season. So you really have to focus intentionally, with intention, uh, to keep your focus, and watch what you focus on. It's
Yeah.
got to focus on the positive, because there's so much negative going on that, and then the rest is faith.
Mm.
And that's personal from me, with some of the blows that have been absorbed, um, didn't take you out, and so you're still here, and you still got a mission to accomplish. And if you got a support system, that really comes in crucial when the toughest times come along. So the distractions and the detractors are vying for your focus as well. So we just need to be aware of that, and then do the activities that keep us on course on our vision. Back to you, Rick.
Man, I'm so impressed with you guys. That is so powerful. What you're saying. You want to write that down. You want to write that down. You want to write down all the distractions, all the distractors. You want to write it down as a point in time. And when you write it down as a point in time, you'll be able to see your distance and growth. Like when you write it down as a point in time, you'll be able to see on this journey your distance from it and your growth from it. as a marker, and be able to, this is what happened. And that's why it's so important to keep a journal, because of life's journey. You want to write it down with the intention of being able to pass a message in time, document it in time, to your grandchildren, your children's children's children, of how you made it over. You know what I mean? And it becomes a marker and a point that you see that God's growth. And when you write it in your journal, you don't know who's going to read it, like the Bible, right? You don't know who's going to read it. Brenda had said something, but I'm so impressed with, the things that we as a family team observe each other grow through, as we're praying for each other, as we're living life, as we're doing this business, as we're spiritually growing, and all those things, and we're doing the ups and the downs as all boats are rising. And it's not the easiest thing, but it is life. But I am impressed with Glenn, what you're saying, and but it's so important to write that down as a marker, because Brenda was saying something a couple of days ago, and Brenda, share what you were saying about 100 years from now.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Some of
Before I
you
start
might
crying.
remember. Some of you might remember. Well, his name is here nor there, but he had a good. Oh my, must have been 5 inches. That's how I measure the wording on Facebook. But it was about 5 to 6 inches of verbiage. And really, what he was saying was, we have to enjoy the present, the hugs, the I love you, the time that we spend with our loved ones, because as we know, we don't even know, unless you're just that historian of the family, what our great grandparents' name was, or unless you did some kind of historic thing to find out about your ancestry. Really, we don't even know their name. We don't know where they lived. We don't know a lot about them. And the same thing is going to happen with your family 7 generations in. And he said 100 years from now. So 21, 23. 100 years from now, will your, great grands or whatever know your name? No, they won't know what you drove as far as your car. They probably won't even know where you lived. They won't know a lot of things about you, a lot of things that we now want as far as things go. So they're not going to know these things. So you want to pass on the love, the memories that people will be able to remember 100 years ago. Because as we fight to achieve things like whatever top of the line vehicle you want to buy, blah, blah, blah. So it went on for a long time, telling the story of how your great grandkids won't even know your name. And then I started thinking about that. I went, oh, wow, that is so true, because I started trying to think about, well, I know my grandmother's name, and I know my grandmother's mother's name, but I don't know my grandmother's mother's name. I mean, so when it goes back far, you really don't, when it goes back 3 to 4 generations, you really don't know that person. So as far as you knowing your grandkids that are coming up, they're not going to know you. They're not going to know you. So it's all about cherishing the time that you have with the people that you know now, having stories, fun, or where we went together. For example, my son's children will know his grandmother because we still talk about her. But they don't know, even my children does not know their grandmother's mother. Anything about her, we really don't even talk about her. We know her because that's just your grandmother. So they were just talking about how we need to cherish what's really important and not things. So it was a good little article. And then I wrote as a response, which I normally never do. I just hardly even like stuff, but I wrote as a response to that whole little verbiage that they had. This statement is so true because it's about living and enjoying your life and not holding on to things. So that's pretty much what it was, and I thought it was
Hello.
really interesting. Yes, go right ahead.
Anybody that knows me, one of my sayings is 100 years from now, this won't matter anyway.
Right.
Because, we'll
That
all
is
be
true,
united.
Glenn.
You know what I mean? We'll all be united
Yeah.
and we'll all be together. And, life is a vapor. It really is. So it's about getting through. So I agree with you 100%. Back to you, Brenda. Now some
yeah.
of us may be in a position where they can't talk right now. We're out in the public, but I stepped out to say that. Back to you, Brenda.
Oh.
So and so
Okay.
and so everybody on this call knows Ecclesiastes, and where they talk about the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and the thing which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, this is new? It has already been done of the old time. There is no remembrance of former things, like you said, Clint. It will matter 100 years from now. And vanity of vanities. And he goes where he set his heart to create wealth. He tried everything, Solomon did, and this and that and the other, and he extended himself, and he had maid servants and men servants and palaces and that. And he said, in the end, all is vanity. And so, like we're saying, the thing that counts are the memories you make, of all the stuff that we grow through in life. The things that count are the memories that you make. And I believe documenting those memories that you can pass on, and the lessons that you can learn, and the people you can serve. And that's what life, living in the moment, is all about. It's not about the money. It's not about, even though, of course, you're going to have it, it's not about wealth or fame or any of that stuff. It's about, what am I doing today in service to my fellow man that makes me feel good because I was able to serve. And what makes you feel even better, you get a response from that person, and you're helping them on a daily basis, on a daily walk. And that's what the true essence of life. And so when you read Ecclesiastes, and even Solomon, with the richest man, some people say, on the earth, and he tried everything. Of course, he said try God. That's really your only course. Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah, that's good. And even for us having dinner with family last night, it was really interesting because different cultures also see things differently. So that's a thought-provoking statement. Who is going to know your name 100 years from now? And so different cultures feel that, oh yeah, well, you build this and you buy this and you pass this down for your generation and you do this and you do that. And what's so interesting is, and like a lot of us know, we can work as hard as all get out. We could have 4 or 5 homes, and we could have all these model cars, this and that, all this stuff. Man, your kids will come in there and sell it and blow it. They're gonna sell it. They're gonna blow it. They don't want to live in, the family house. There's gonna be maybe one that says, "Oh no, I want to live in this house where Mama and Papa raised us."
Lord
But
have mercy, so
the other
true.
6 gonna be like, "What? no, we selling this. I got bills to pay, so when you get hung
So
up,
and so
when
not
you
doing
get so,
very well. We need to sell this
oh,
land.
we need to sell this. I mean, that's going on right now in our family with land. I know we need to sell. And then you got the, no, we should never sell land and da da da. And we have to pass it on to our generation. And then you have the grandkids saying, I ain't moving down there. I like living in the city. I like living, wherever they live. So you really can't get hung up on things
Man,
like
that's so
that
true,
because
brother. That's so true.
it is true. Because yes, we do want to create generational wealth, but what are you doing to yourself to create it? Missing out on living and loving life because you're doing, all these different things to create a dollar.
Hey, Brenda.
And yes, go right ahead.
Excuse me. As you was talking, and I was just thinking, wealth may not be money that you're creating generationally. It may be a culture of service. It may be those kinds of things, an honest
Mm-hmm.
family, you know, and being able to create that and money, right? But it
Yeah,
may not
a
necessarily,
mantle, a
huh?
mantle, a mantle.
A mantle
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of transference. What do you want to transfer? You're in your generation's future if you can go there today in your spirit with, like you're saying, Glenn, this is the mantle that I want to transfer generationally. We are a family of service. We are a family even of entrepreneurs, a family of new ideas, a family that is fearless, in service and in entrepreneurialism, you know, creating that, because truly whatever it is that we're doing and living, and serving today is the thing that actually, without even spoken word, that gets passed on generationally. That's not even something you can even really plan, because whatever is by default, what are we passing on by default generationally? And I love how you're saying, Glenn, what mantle, and that can be positive or negative, are we passing on generation? See, I really believe this. That is a successful life. We got the business, we got this, all the different things, and and even the distractions, got all of that. But what is the mantle of, when it's all said and done? What is our desire of the mantle that we want to pass on? That's powerful. Back to you, Brent.
It's true. It is really true. So when you hear all those things, you don't want to get hung up on things. And granted, when I say that, I'm not saying don't want things, because I want things. I like the finer things in life. I like to travel first class, which now they call business class, or just to play on wording. But I like traveling business class. I like going places and having concierge and different people to wait on me. I like that. That's fun. So there's nothing to stop you from still wanting more, but understand, don't put yourself, your mind, in such a position where you're going after all these mores and you're not enjoying what you have now.
That's good.
So enjoy. Yes, want more, go for more. It's all about your goals, achieving it, and how you achieve it. But while you're walking through this, don't put your body in such a high stress level to where now you're not even enjoying where you are, because you're getting all frustrated and upset because you're not where you want to be. So, and that's very important, because people will hustle hard to achieve their goal, and then they turn around and say, wow, where did time go?
Where'd my health
People,
go?
where did my health go? And wow, when did I have to start taking 18 pills? It's because you were not taking care while you were going through the process. So it's so much to life, and it's so much to what you have to do. What you really need to do is just stay mindful of what's going on. Make sure you understand your body, your life, and don't sweat the small stuff because
True.
like Glenn said, 100 years from now, it will not matter.
It's a render.
It will not matter. Yes.
You know, I sometimes have a clash of belief of the flesh that clashes with my faith. And because it's not a blurred line, but it's kind of a blurry line of assertion to get things and attraction to receive things. Talking more spiritual. And my experience of making millions in business has been learning and and spiritual growth and obedience and attraction and those spiritual things that affect the natural things to receive. Not me immersing myself in the flesh and the natural things and the way the world kind of does things from a lack perspective versus an abundance spiritual perspective. And so every now and then I have to pull myself back to the spiritual side, being immersed in the natural side. And because the natural side, people make you feel like you're not doing anything, that you're not sweating, that you're not losing something, whether it be your health, your family, or something, that you're not sacrificing something. Don't get me wrong, but sacrifice is spiritual and natural. My experience in receiving things and all the things, Brenda, that we do and the places we go and the foods we eat and the service that you just described is laying. Now listen to this. This may be just me, just like you was talking earlier, Brenda. But this is me writing the vision, making it plain, getting inspiration to do the things that are necessary, prioritizing the things that are necessary through that inspiration. Now, a person working in the flesh is on a timeline, and if they don't meet that timeline, they're stressed out, they're doing it. Mine is, the timeline is set internally. I set the timeline. God sets the timeline. I can't push it past him, but I can only position myself, in obedience and still in sacrifice, but it's a spiritual sacrifice. And then, like you're saying, Brent, at the same time, live my life and enjoy my life, but that has been my experience. So when I look around, and I guess we're looking in the world system, and I see people doing this, and they achieve the different goals that are set, and I've done that. The issue with me is you have to keep doing it. The Lord told me one time, he says, Rick, if you build it in the flesh, it's your job to maintain it in the flesh. If you allow me through inspiration to build it in the spirit, now it becomes my job to maintain it. And you've shifted that responsibility to me to give you inspiration on the things to do. That make sense? That's how I feel. And sometimes that kind of goes back and forth in the world system and in the spiritual system. But that was the birth of marketplace ministry, in adding the spiritual side, which I believe is the foundation to, the business excellence that we all know to do. Like, to do this, to do this. A lot of times, because we don't set the vision, write it down and make it plain, your body won't do it. Your body won't do anything the mind doesn't believe. Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah, that's just like those. What are those view? Oh, we were talking about last night. I have one. Mine's a little dated. Mine's probably about 4 years old, And when you have electronic that's 4 years old, that's like old in today's the View Craft or the View Master, where you put it on your eyes and you can see something. And we were talking about the different ones that I have on my phone, which allows you to see the clown, and it's really scary, and the clown pops up out of you, pops up out at you, and it's really scary. And then my niece made the statement, yeah, because your brain does not know that that's just a picture. Your brain only sees what it sees. So when the clown pops out and scares you, you really think that you're in this room and the clown is scaring you. So that goes back to, you control what you see, what you say, how you do it. Because you can say to yourself, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, great little affirmation. Your brain's going to believe that, because what else are you saying to yourself? So your brain will believe it. You'll start to do it. Your body will start to conform to that, healthy, wealthy, wise. So you talk yourself into what you want to be. It's really up to you. And I think that's really interesting, that how the brain works. And all the different affirmations that we say, all the different clinics that we talk about, the different things that people are saying, they're saying your brain does it not. Joe Dispenza, everybody that we listen to, you're telling yourself the negative things. So start telling yourself the positive things. Like we know, Rick, writing it down, looking at it is very important. It takes a real 1%er to be able to visualize that without seeing it. But do what works for you. If saying it works for you, if writing it down works for you, do what works for you. And when you start doing that, you'll start seeing a difference. You'll start, even if you say to yourself, I'm healthy, I love healthy food. I love healthy food. Before you, and I don't know how long it's going to take because I don't know, but watch how your taste buds begin to change. And you'll start saying, oh, yeah, that's right, I love health. Because, see, we do it to ourselves without even realizing it. My daughter, for example, she does not like sweets. Sweets are not her thing. Food is her thing. She loves food. So she'll tell you in a minute, no, I don't like sweets. She says that all the time. Somebody will offer her a donut, dessert, whatever. No, I don't like sweets. I don't like sweets. She's been saying, I don't like sweets for years. She does not like sweets. My son, I love candy, anything sweet, anything sweet. He's been saying that to himself for years. I even say it to myself, I love sweet. Put sugar in it, I'm going to eat it, I'm going to drink it. So,
Hey, Brenda.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, let me tell a quick story on Cameron, who loves sweets. Brittany loves food, but Cameron loves sweets. And so I know everybody has experienced this. So when we was younger, we would take them trick-or-treating. And when they was young, we had to control the amount of candy that they would eat. And because they eat it all in one night. And so I don't know what age it was, but my son, he was like, man, I'm keeping my candy. It was good for Brenda and I, because we would go through their candy and pick out what we wanted. And so my son, one Halloween, he's eating candy into November.
Because he hit it.
We're seeing all these little wrappers all over the place.
Months later.
A month later, he had taken his candy and put it in a hiding place. That's how much he loves sweets. Back to you, Brenda.
It's true, he did. And so we would see little Tootsie Roll wrappers. It's like, what's today? November 15th. What's all this Tootsie Roll? Who still has candy 2 weeks later, And,
we done ate all their candy.
We don't eat every Snicker bar, anything we wanted. But you say, so everybody on the line, there's something that you always have said to yourself. Be it, I can't do this, or I don't like this, or I like this, whatever it is. And so now your body and your brain believes it, because that's what you've been telling yourself. I don't like heights. I'm so afraid of heights. I don't care for heights either, but I'll go someplace high. And I might find myself looking down or looking over to the side or looking at the wall, but I will push myself
That's good.
to go there. So, whatever it is that you've been telling yourself, try telling yourself the positive part of that. Try saying the positive side of it and not, I don't like crowds. Oh, I hate crowds. I hate crowds. Yes.
One of the things that is so important in what you're saying, we create our reality, which overrides what people would say is your reality. Because you and I during the pandemic, that was the best time of our life, not to put anything down on other people. But that's when we start listening to Joe Dispenza and start understanding how your feelings direct your future. And start reading about the brain and how the brain and the mind controls everything around you. And in the midst of what may seem to be reality, you can train your mind to see the positive of everything. And in that piece and we was trying to tell people that, Surge, our Travemanity, is a real travel business that gets paid pandemic money because it's a real business that's being impacted by this event of the pandemic and people not traveling. And so us being able to create income, during that time, during that period, and trying to tell people that you want to try this, you want to do this, but the pandemic, because of us creating that period, creating the world around us, and it's like you say, we were learning stuff, we were learning new things. We learned about Joe Dispenza. We had the money to buy his books, even though we still had the money. We had the money to buy all of his books. You bought your set of his books. I bought my set of his books. And we kept our mind fresh. And we created a world that was so awesome during a pandemic when the world was going through such craziness. We were living and enjoying each other and just enjoying life. Fast forward that to today. You can create the world that you imagine. Imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. But you can you create the world that you imagine today for tomorrow. If I'm sitting here and I say, I'm imagining my life tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or as Glenn says, 100 years from now, I'm creating that world today. And I think that has been our success, Brenda. We are always today creating tomorrow. And in the patience of being able to do that, and in an understanding of being able to do that, to not get antsy, to not push it, to not but to live in the day creation for tomorrow's creation for the next. Like you say it all the time, and you dream so well. We're walking into that dream. You was telling us about your dream home in Charleston, South Carolina. That will be a reality. That will be a reality. And I've been seeing that, of course, our entire life, because you keep moving me forward in the future to your dreams. And the power of dreaming. So what you were saying earlier is so true. You're part of the 1%ers that can actually do that. Of course, writing it down makes it even, more solid, but you actually you dream and things happen. You speak and things happen. And that is the lesson of what we're learning even like today. Knowing the power of your mind, knowing the power of your tongue. Everybody on this call is in that 1%, of people who can speak things and they happen. All we're doing is bringing in awareness to you that you are there, and a confidence to you that that's how you got here. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that's true. This is a great call. Anybody else? Wow. Well, like Glenn said, I know a lot of folks are different places where they can't speak, but I know they had great things to contribute to the conversation. I know they heard some great things. This is really fun on Thursdays, and of course we'll have the presentation this evening. And it's been so fun coming together and talking because it helps us grow. When we communicate with each other on a weekly basis, and some of us talk throughout the week, it helps us grow. It helps us learn. It reminds us of what we want and how we want to do it. And when we do that, we're growing, we're learning. And so I want everybody to remember we have the call this evening. So if you can jump on the call, that looks great because we see the numbers. If you can invite someone to the call so they could hear the presentation live, and then get back with them to answer all their questions so they can get started. People are looking. People are looking for what we have. They don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. They don't want to go back into the office and see our job is something that as they're working from home, they can still work the business. So there's so many people that really would love working this business and turning it around because they enjoy being home now. They enjoy being there when the kids get off from school, dropping them off at school, walking to the bus, whatever the case may be. They enjoy being there as opposed to when they were working a 9 to 5. And then before you know it, they have to stay a whole 2-3 hours later, overtime. And then by the time they get home, they're so exhausted that the most they could do is maybe throw something in their mouth and crash. So you're giving, a lot of times, people who are still doing the 9 to 5, you're giving the most quality part of your day to someone else. And your family and your friends get the leftovers. And that's okay because sometimes we have to do what we have to do, and I understand that. But plan to not be there that long. Plan to figure out how you can give your business and your family the quality time of your day where you're alert, you're awake, you are focused, as opposed to waiting till the very end of the day when you're still trying to muscle up the strength to finish off your day. So think about that. You want to give your family the quality time of your day, whatever that is, between 10 and 2, 9 and 1, 11 and 3, whatever those quality time is, when you're alert, when you're ready to go. If you're a night owl, those times. If you are an early bird, from 6 to 10, whatever the time is for you, because you know what works for you. Those are your quality hours. And you want to make sure you're able to give it and spend it with your family. Because if we were to title this call 100 years from now, it won't even matter. So I'm going to definitely use that. So I want everybody, remember to join us this evening on our presentation tonight on Thursdays. It's 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. But remember to join us. We always have a great time on the call. We have people coming in. We love when we see guests because that means they're curious and they want to know what's going on. So I want everybody to have a great rest of your day. Know that we are the most trusted travel team in Surge 365, and we will, and we have seen each other on the beaches of the world, the ski slopes of the world. And it's all about having fun and enjoying today. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye now.